So once again, it's rockflesh.com, coming from Sweden Rock, and we're on to what, day 3 now? Day 3? And look who we've got with us. We've got Raised Fist with us. Yeah. Excellent. So legends in the business. I'd say hardcore legends. 7 albums. Been looking about since the 90s.
We don't need to speak. You do it.
I was going to say, yeah. I just, you know, it's an honour to be able to interview you guys finally. So you're playing later today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tonight on the rock stage.
Yes.
What can we look forward to? A mix of songs, or just newer ones, or any brand new songs?
We have quite a mix. So we just added a song or two from the set list we had on tour. So we kind of, 3 months ago we toured this area.
Yeah.
So we just kind of try to mix some new things in. And but it's a festival, so obviously we gotta play some.
You gotta play the hits.
Yeah. Not only that, but we have, as you say, we've been playing for 30 years. So even if when we take a song from each album, it's gonna be a big mix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And is it with such a big back catalogue? Is it difficult to pick, or are there those songs that you feel right? We definitely need to play those almost every time, otherwise they want to be unhappy. Or is it kind of you're happy to chop and change, keep it fresh for yourselves?
It's kind of hard because only 7 albums in 30 years. It's not that many. So, but still, people from the early days they want to have. And that means that you have to play that song every show because there isn't a show.
Otherwise they're there at the front.
Yeah, but you need to be hard. You need to be like really rough and just cut those off the playlist. If you don't feel it's right on stage, like energy-wise, etc., you need to cut it off.
Yeah.
So we're not playing the oldest. Some of the oldest. We know some people here.
Yeah.
In particular, with the average age is a little bit higher also in Sweden Rock. So we know we have fans from the early days, but we can't play for 2 hours. We're not
exactly.
But the crew. We can do that.
I was going to say, you're not playing at kind of 1 in the morning. Like Europe finishing at 1:45 and stuff.
Yeah,
I think everyone's like, ooh. I mean, it's freezing cold by that point because the weather is amazing, isn't it? At the moment, absolutely so sunny, not a cloud in the sky, and then it gets to night time and everyone's frozen.
We played here a couple of years ago, and we played the same stage, and then it was like warm, and then after the show we were like, ooh, shit. So
exactly.
It's cold, so I brought clothes. I come from, we come from the Arctic Circle, Sweden, so we came down from cold. So, but still, nighttime here is because the difference is so big.
Exactly, it's really drastic. Yeah.
And on stage, we have some fire going there, so good. Hot.
Good. That's hot for everybody.
Yeah.
There's gonna be fire left for
It was good to know. Like you always know, like say with Gojira yesterday, they always bring the flames.
Yeah.
Like if you've been cold, you get down the front. You might get a confetti cannon in your face, but
Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about influences. So obviously, well not obviously, but the name Raised Fist comes from Know Your Enemy, Rage Against the Machine. So I guess kind of their outlook, their ideals maybe, something playing in. But otherwise, like I mean, when
it's a long time ago.
Exactly.
So just getting the name Raised Fist, that was basically in New York style hardcore, like
starting point.
All Bold, all these bands. Judge. Those were the biggest influences. But then the band name was just like, so we needed to find an old school hardcore name, like Judge, Strife,
exactly.
Today, Raised Fist, Gorilla Biscuits. Just a name that could fit the poster. And we were like, okay, what's Born with Insight? And the Raised Fist, that's like, so Born with Insight was actually
was that in the running?
That was in the running, like Born with Insight, and it's actually a cool name.
Yes.
Anyone could call their band Born with Insight.
Definitely.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, but we were like, a little bit too, not. So Raised Fist is just like straight to the point.
I think, it does. You know what you guys are going to be like.
But then we have developed our style, in 30 years we had some Jimmy joining with his musical writing abilities, and so everything has been changed is there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, sometimes it doesn't really fit. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But here in Scandinavia, people have been so close with us during this progress, so they feel like Raised Fist is the absolute property.
Yes.
But someone who listened to us for maybe 25 years ago, and then they come now and they say, what happened to the band? So we metamorphed into some kind of, you know, different
core is always
Yeah, the core is there. It's hard. It's yeah.
If we write a song today that might to some ears sound like, for example, maybe a pop song.
Yeah.
We take it to our cooking point and we make it a Raised Fist song. So the core will always boil the fuel that makes it Raised Fist.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think
all the influences we have, like,
it's so many, too many to mention. And also, I used to say that Raised Fist isn't, we aren't a band that influenced by other bands. We are a band that influences other bands. Because we've been doing it for a long time. You can't even find it. You can't find a match. And we had a booking agent who said once, he said like, and he was on the continent, Germany and France. He said, you know, everyone. We put the record on and we hear, boom, this is Raised Fist. You can spot it immediately.
And we
not the song.
No.
The vocal is there, so of course, then but they say music, we just, boom, when it comes on,
immediately.
This is Raised Fist.
Yeah, and that's the sign of a great band. We always say that, you know, bands that aren't afraid to not be pigeonholed, as it were. Like bands that bring in lots of influences, lots of, you know, kind of pushing genres, mixing genres, but as well, if you hear them on the radio, immediately it's like, I know this, I know what band it is. Immediately, you know, kind of thing. And that's the sign of a great band.
Style-wise, it's such a, you know, like songs like Wounds, very slow, emotional, and then you got hard songs, and then we just want to, because what happened is, if you play, like, if you are locked into this little box, you won't play with your heart for many years. You go like, you know, because I grew up, I'm a father now. I was like a teenager when I started. That was totally different. My brain wasn't even so, you know, instead of doing what other artists do, they jump into different bands, and we stay together up there in the north of Sweden. But you're just like, okay, what do we want to write now? How do we want to write this song? I would like to write a good hard rock beat, like, okay, like with the and we just start ripping and fuck, this is, and then we just, when you get this feeling like, okay, I can step up on stage with this one, and it's a Raised Fist.
Exactly.
So it just fit in there. So that's like influences everything. Not some sort of band, not some sort of genre. It's like
it's hardcore, it's soul.
And we are all music writers. That's a big thing with us. I write, for example, the latest record, Venomous. That I wrote the guitars, the drums, the bass, the lyrics, everything. So that's a singer writing my song. And so what am I influenced on? And then we have Into This World, like a big epic song. Gimme wrote that with a kind of a Motown.
So is that often how now the songwriting process does work? That it's almost being brought by like one of you to the band? But it's more collaborative.
We have one each. Like that's our main song. That's how it is. And then we have lots of music that we together. Okay, he has the verse. I have a chorus. I have an intro.
And we layer up.
We layer it up. But usually we have some songs that connect. Like and so that's so my influence on that record. Venomous, for example, that's like a more, you could say like a 90s kind of quicksand. Like more of that kind of. And then I wrote Murder, which is that's kind of more metal.
And that kind of dry.
That comes from me. And then Jim has some other. So who are his influences throughout life and who are mine? You know, it's too many to mention.
As you said, when you've been band together. Exactly.
It's just like it's like a code. You have like 2 digits. Okay, I think I can guess the code within a reasonable time. Okay, let's make it 3. Okay, so now we have an 8-figure code. And you go, okay, who are the numbers here? That's the same with influences. You know, when it's too many.
Exactly. And when you've been a band, as you said, staying together for as long as you have, you're collecting those influences, aren't you? So it just becomes more and more and more.
And one thing that's really interesting is that I found out is when you've done many records and time passes by, you listen to your old records and feel like, okay, I want to write a typical Raised Fist song in the 90s. you know. So you influence yourself in the future, and you feel like, okay, that's a good. I would like to write something like that.
Yeah.
And then you write, and I did it on the latest album, Killing It is an old song, and I was like, I want a rock and roll song like that.
I want to do that.
So we wrote 7 on the new album, and those kind of, you know, not similar at first glance, but if you talk to me, I will find the similarities.
You work those, there is that kind of, as you say, that core element.
And you influence yourself. It's just like from another time, and
So foremost, we don't limit ourselves to any genres. That's a big. It's a big thing in our songwriting that makes it great. We're not limited to writing hardcore, or limited to writing metal, or limited to writing.
None of this kind of idea.
It's gotta feel right in your hands and feel right in your mouth.
And feel dynamic like that. You can, if it's slow, then you need to have, you know.
But no, kind of like, oh, this would be a good song for another band. It's like, if you've come up with it, it's a raised fist.
It is.
Because you are raised fist, you know, exactly.
Sometimes, when you wrote the Motown, and we felt like and I was like,
is this like a theme tune?
I was like, I can do something with that. And he was like, I was like, it's a good, but it's like, you know, I think I can do something with this. Let's try it.
It's almost like a challenge then.
Yeah, and then I got okay, it's low key, it's kind of a little sad thing. I get the vibe. And then I just started thinking about the song, how it can grow, and I was like, I have the perfect fit for that. So that's how it is.
Excellent. And the lyrics came out perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was the
came out perfect.
Exactly.
So we
just all comes together.
Like
that. Perfect. So one of the questions we often ask: playing live, recording, and writing. Those 3 elements. What order of preference or order of enjoyment would you put those in?
Recording, that's the worst thing you can do.
That's what
rehearsing is the worst. And then recording.
Playing the same thing over and over again.
Writing is an interesting process. Sometimes very sickening, but
it's phases, because you write in the recording studio. That part is kind of
very relieving when it starts coming to place.
It's almost like more satisfying.
And you kind of see something in the distance growing, getting clearer, and like, it's gonna fucking blow up. It's cool. So writing is both. Live is always fun.
How about new songs when you're first, or actually old songs maybe you haven't played for a while, and that reaction you get from the crowd, being able to kind of see, like we've had people, some of the bands saying that the best part for them is when they've written a piece and then they actually release it and play it to the crowd to see that reaction, that kind of first reaction.
That happened the first time with our last records. In 30 years, we have never had any reaction like that, notable or visible, because mainly because you know, sometimes we just we play fast and people watch, and you know, so reaction-wise it's just gonna be a mess. And sometimes we play a little bit slower, so we are the worst DJ on the planet, you know, because a DJ, they want to put the BPM, they want to have them playing, and then people are coming in, then they put another song, there's no gap between, and they just.
So your journeys,
we are like this, and now it's a slow song, and they go like, but I was just in the pit, and now it's like, now it's slow.
Okay,
and then we go like,
and then we go again.
Okay, next. So that's how it had been. You know, when we play such a different song, and the set list is always like, and we've seen other bands like, how do they do this when they get all the sing-alongs and everything? And then we figured out late in our career, like, they are building the set list and like thinking about a live build-up, and we were just like, they're not just like we putting all the songs in a bunch and then going on and playing it and then just fucking everything up on stage, because you know, we hit the guitar so much that they break, and you know, like sometimes I don't even sing. I just, we have to calm down also. So we talked and we said, like, you know, we are destroying ourselves on stage, and we're just so energetic that we can't even play our instruments. So we need to like think about
Think about longevity. Yeah.
and also do it so the audience can have some kind of grip of what's happening. So we've been better at this, and when we had anthems coming out with more sing along, a little bit more. So we wrote the songs and we were like, yeah, this is easy. When we started writing, I was like the anthem, for example, the song. It was like I want to do like a really easy thing, like just like hey, and like write it, but it's gonna be good. And anthem is a song like that.
Yeah.
Put your fist to the sky if you love it. And it's like, and when we came out on stage, everything just fell to pieces. It was like, this is so brand new, and people like singing.
Yeah.
I was like, so this is what they've been doing.
How the fuck do you know this song? How the fuck do you know this song? It's a new one.
Was it the effects of the pandemic maybe? Because
I think this was
like 2019, wasn't it? So,
I think it was the song structure.
Yeah.
Like more sing-along friendly. It wasn't like intentionally, but many of the songs they have some kind of. So it was like, but that was a totally new thing for us. Like in 27 years we haven't been doing that, but now.
But we talked about it and felt like we want to do songs fitted for the live scene.
Yeah.
So they need to fit on the live scene already. When we hear them, we should want to go out and play them.
Yeah,
exactly. And
that fell out kind of
good question, because it was and we talked about it like 6 months ago, 3 months ago when we played. We were like, when we come out and they just sing, they know the song. It's just like
that's a feeling.
Yeah, very nice.
So let's finish with a little bit of a fun question. If there was a biopic done of the band, a biopic, so a film of the band, which actor would play each of you? You can answer for each other if you want.
Good question. Who would play Alexander? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van
Damme. There you go.
No, I don't know.
That's a hard question. Very hard question.
It is. We're known, Rockflesh, ask the difficult questions.
Yeah, maybe who's the guy in? I can't.
You just say The Rock. The Rock and Jason Statham. You can be like Hobbs and Shaw.
Jason Statham.
I wanted to find some, like some old rugged British gangster, like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrel.
There you go.
Michael Caine.
Exactly. The footballer. Who's the footballer? The guy in Lock, Stock.
Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
Vinnie Jones. Excellent.
Yeah.
Vinnie Jones. you be Vinnie Jones. And I'll be, someone else.
Okay, so we've got to draw it to a close, but it's been absolutely awesome. Hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon. But good luck with the set tonight. It's been awesome meeting you, and all the best for the future. You've been Rockflesh. Remember,
See you later,
like and
Rockflesh.
subscribe.